everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share and comment for more videos like this. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to be talking about my travel experience from Kenya, Nairobi, actually Kisumu, Kisumu, Kenya, to the US, to up to Walla Walla, where I am right now. I'm telling you guys, that was a very, I describe it as a very hectic experience, because first of all, it was my first time flying out, like flying anywhere actually, leave alone even flying out of the country, flying anywhere. So this was my first time on a plane, and I didn't even know how things operate. I was just experiencing things for the first time. And mind you, I had 4 flights from Kisumu to Nairobi, from Nairobi to Paris, from Paris to Seattle, from Seattle to Pasco. Those are 4 flights. I'm telling you, I was so exhausted. By the time I was reaching the US, I was just feeling like I'm dead, because I think it was like a 19-hour journey, because I left Kenya on Friday and then I reached Sunday morning. It was a long flight experience, and I'm just gonna take you through how I traveled from Kenya to the US. So first and foremost, I was so excited about this flight or journey because it was my first time, and I was traveling out of the country to the US. So I was looking forward to it. I was so excited, and I had talked to my friends who had traveled before, and they had told me that what to expect, what to carry in your checked-in bag. You know, you have 2 bags, the checked-in bag and the carry-on. So they told me what to put in your carry-on, what to put in your checked-in bag, how to arrange your stuff. So I knew what to expect, and I knew the maximum weight that was allowed for a checked-in bag. So for me, I just approximated because I didn't have any way to measure. I just carried, and I was like, 23 kilograms. 23 kilograms was the maximum, but my bag was like, I think 20. Yeah, so that's how I approximated. And then so my flight from Kisumu was at 7:50 p.m. I mean, no, 7 p.m. sorry. It was like a 1-hour flight, but it took 30 minutes to Nairobi. And I was, oh my gosh, being in the plane for the first time, I was so anxious, excited. Like, there were so many mixed feelings, because now you are, going up for the first time. How do you call that? Like, I don't know, but taking off. Yeah, when the plane is taking off and you feel like you're going to die, like it's like a heart attack. I call it like it's a heart attack, because my heart almost skipped a beat, because I was like, I almost screamed. Everyone was so chill, and I'm like, you guys didn't feel that? And then I remembered, oh, this is my first time. Maybe they have done it before, but yeah, I was so shocked. And then when we were up in the sky, I saw clouds, and there was sun up there. It was so pretty. Oh my gosh. And by that time I had my techno, and it was like a low quality camera, so I was trying to record the clouds, but it was just so blurry. But I did record anyway, because you gotta use what you have, I mean. So I just recorded as we were like up there in the sky. I recorded the clouds, and then I sat there. I was so excited the whole flight. It was like a 30-minute flight, but the whole time I was just looking around and being so happy. And I took pictures. Yeah, and then we reached Nairobi in like, I think it was like 30 minutes. I was so shocked, because all my life traveling to Nairobi has been like a 8 hour experience. You sit in a car for like 8 hours, and this time I traveled for 30 minutes, and I'm shocked. How did we even do that? Yeah, it was so nice. I liked the experience of traveling from Kisumu to Nairobi. And then when I reached Nairobi, I didn't know where to go because, mind you, JKIA is the airport in Nairobi. It is so vast. It is so huge. There are so many terminals. There's 1A, 1B, whatever. I didn't know where to go. So I was... And you know, another funny thing, when we reached in the airport, I just saw people standing around like something like a conveyor belt. You know, by now I know that that's where you pick your checked in bags. But I didn't know. I was just like, why are we standing here? But then my friend had told me, when you see people, just follow the people. If you don't know where you're going, just follow them. So I was like, okay, let me just copy them. Then I stood there because I didn't know what we are waiting for. So we just stood there. And they were looking at the conveyor belt. I'm like, what is it? Why are we looking here? And then in like 5 minutes, bags started rolling on the conveyor belt. And I'm like, oh, I had checked in my bag earlier. So this is my bag now. I should pick it. So I waited for my bag, and then I picked my bag, my suitcase, and then I walked out of that terminal to the terminal that was supposed to take me to my international flight. Oh, I missed a part. Okay. So my mom took me to the airport. My mom, my sisters, my 2 sisters, and my brother, they took me to the airport in Kisumu. Oh my gosh, I cried when it was time to leave. You know, all the time I was like, oh, I'm so happy to travel. But then when it was time to actually part ways, I cried so bad. I didn't want to leave because I don't know when I'm gonna see them again, and the flight, it's almost time and I have to go in, but then I won't be able to see them. So I started crying, and I was like, I don't know. It was just so overwhelming. But then I had to pick myself up and control myself and wipe away my tears, because this is it. There's no going back. So I went in and sat and waited for my flight. Okay, so that's it. And so now we went through JKIA, and now I'm alone. But then we had agreed with my sister. She was going to meet me at JKIA so she can bid me goodbye, because my sister lives in Nairobi. So she can bid me goodbye, and she had bought me a sweater, because I didn't have a sweater, a warm sweater, and the travel pillow. She was to give me those things. So when I arrived in Nairobi, I started walking towards the terminal. So I checked in my itinerary, and then I saw, okay, I'm supposed to be in terminal. I think it was 1B or something. And then I asked those like staff who are working there, and I asked them, do you know where I can find this terminal? And they were like, oh, right there. And then I went, and then I was like, why am I even wasting time here waiting for my sister? And my sister, when she comes, maybe will take longer. So let me just go in, check in, and then come back. Hey, I didn't know you're not supposed, like, when you go in, you can't come back. So for me, I just went in. I didn't know you can't come back. And you know, mind you, I don't have a sweater. And in the airplane, it is so cold. It is literally, it's so cold, my goodness. And I was going to places where maybe it would be colder, and I didn't have a travel pillow. So I got in, and then onto security checks. I passed the first, I think there were like, how many security checks were there? There were so many. So I passed through the first one. So you have to remove your shoes if they are not like rubber or something. You have to remove your shoes, put them on, put your bag on the conveyor thing. It will be scanned, and then you can proceed. So I passed through the first security check. I think there was the second one, and then I didn't even know which airline I was using. So they were like so which airline are you using? I was like, Kenya Airways. Are you sure it's Kenya Airways? Because me, I knew Kenya Airways is the one that is taking me from Kisumu to Nairobi, so most probably it is the one that is taking me to Paris. But it wasn't. It was Air France. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, it was Air France. So I went to the Air France window to check in again, because now it's a different flight. So I checked in. They took my bag. They put the stickers. You know, they have to put your sticker where you're going, where you're from. Yeah. And yeah, they checked me in, and then they told me I can proceed to the next step. The next step is now I think it's like a port, or like they record if you're leaving the country. That's the point where you're leaving Kenya. Like it's like a window, but it's like close to where it's written Kwaheri Kenya. So it's like when you pass there and then you pass Kwaheri Kenya, you know you're going towards international flight. So there, that is where they stamp your passport to show that you're leaving Kenya. So I passed there. They checked my passport. They asked me what am I going to do in the US. I told them I'm going to study. That was not an issue. So they stamped my passport, and then I moved on to the next. So they stamped my passport, and then they allowed me to move on. Then I saw Kwaheri Kenya, and I was like, wow, I've only seen this in TikTok videos, in YouTube, in pictures. I've never really seen it, and I'm seeing it. And then I was like, I'm taking a picture. So took a picture for posting. And then after that, now you move on to now the international flight. Another check-in, another security check. You remove your shoes, you remove your bag, they check in, you remove your laptops, you remove your iPad. I had an iPad and a laptop. You remove them from your bag. They check, they scan your materials or whatever, and then they allow you to pass. And then now you can go to your gates. So there are different gates for different places where you're going. So I had to ask around, because honestly I didn't know where I was going. I was just moving, I didn't know. So I had to ask around. I was like, oh, where am I going? And then they were like, oh yeah, this way. And then I went, and when I reached there, there's another check-in. Oh my gosh, there are so many check-ins in this process. So I checked in, they took my ticket, and then they told me, now you can sit down and wait for your flight. It was around 8:30. Really? 8:30? Really? 9 maybe? 9. It was around 9. I think 8:30, around there. So I went and sat, and then I'm like, whew, I'm done with all this check-in stuff. Now let me call my sister so I can go outside and pick the things that she had brought me. And then I go to the last place I checked in and tell them, okay, so now I'm just gonna go out, and then I'll be back. I'm just going to pick a sweater out there, and then I'll be back. And then they're like, huh? You can't go out. We don't do that here. Once you get in, there's no going out, because you've already passed the port of entry. You have passed the security checks. There's no way you're going out. And I was like, I don't have a sweater. I don't have a travel pillow. How do you expect me to survive? I've not even told my sister goodbye. And then I felt like crying, honestly. This one was not feigning, because I felt like, oh my gosh, my sister is out there, she's waiting for me. Na mimi, I'm here. So I started begging them, please, Aki, please, I need to go out. I promise I will pass through all the security checks again if I have to, cause I need to see my sister. Please. I had to beg and be like, Aki, please, I don't have a sweater. I am asthmatic. I had to pretend that I'm really, really sick. I can't go out. And then they were like, okay, I don't know if people don't do this here, but I don't know if you can pass, if you go back, if they will allow you to come in. You just go pass through the port of entry, and then tell them you forgot something and leave them your passport, and then they'll allow you to go, and maybe they might allow you to go in, and then you will, and then when you come back you can pick your passport. Maybe they will allow you. If they don't, that's okay. So I was like praying, God, please let them allow me, please let them allow me. So when I reached the port of entry again, you know, people were staring at me because everyone is moving in a like direction towards the gates. Me, I'm going opposite. So they're like, even the security people are like, where are you going? I was like, okay, I've forgotten something downstairs. And then I went. When I reached the port of entry, they were even chill about it. I don't know why that woman was telling me, oh, you cannot go back. They were like, oh, okay, just give me your passport and then you can go. And I was like, oh, phew. And then I went out. People were staring, where are you going? Like, unarudi wapi? And then I went out. Then I saw my sister and I was like, yay! Finally, I get to see you. I get to say goodbye, and I was so happy. I hugged her, and then I told her how I traveled from Kisumu to Nairobi, and she had brought me snacks, juice, and I think it was chevda or something. There were nuts, and then she gave me the travel pillow. She gave me the jacket. It was really warm. I put it on because I was cold. I didn't have anything, and then it was picture time. So we took pictures, selfies, you know, just to say goodbye and all. We took so many pictures over there. And by that time it has reached 10, you know. It's 10 p.m. and my flight is like around 10:50. And then I remember I don't have any money. See, I don't have any cash on me. So just a minute, please. So I remember, I was supposed to change money in the bureau because I don't want to inconvenience myself when I'm traveling. Maybe I'll go out there and then I won't find a bureau, or maybe the exchange rates will be insane. So luckily there's a bureau there in JKIA, and then I hurried there because it was almost time. I wanted to exchange Kenyan money to dollars, and then the person in there was so slow. Like, one person was being served for like 20 minutes, and I was so tense because I don't want to miss my flight. I can't miss my flight. I can't. So I was just like shaking. Oh my gosh, hurry please, because I need to get back in there, pass through all those security checks, and get to where I have to be at this moment. Luckily, the person who was being served was done with, and then it was my turn. And then I transferred money to her, and then she transferred it to me. She gave me the dollars, and then it was time to say goodbye. I hugged her. I hugged my sister. She told me to stay safe, to keep my money safe, and yeah. And then I went to my gate, the one that I was supposed to be in. Passed through the security checks again, but then this time they were like, you know, you can't pass through with drinks. My sister had brought me snacks, juice, and some nuts, and they were like, you can't pass with these drinks. You either have to give it to us or you drink it. I was like, give it to you? The audacity. I drank all my juice there. Yeah, I drank all my juice and proceeded to proceeded to the port of entry, took my passport, and then went to the gates. And that was like 10, I think it was 10:40, and I was like, phew, because if I had stayed out there any longer, I don't know, I don't even want to imagine. So I got in and sat, and then I just breathed in, out, and I was like, thank goodness. And within, I think, 15 minutes, it was time to go. and bought. So they called people based on like first class economy and all that. So economy, you know, we are being called the last people. So I waited, and I was using Air France airline. So I waited until they called me. I think we were among the last people to be called. I was just okay because so long as I'm going, so long as I'll be there, I don't give a damn. So I was, when they called the people who are in, like, they call in like per sections, and then they called me, and then I read my seat number on my ticket and went directly to my seat. And luckily I was sitting with Kenyans. I sat with a Kenyan lady was next to me, and I was sitting in the aisle seat. A Kenyan lady was sitting right on my left, and then there was like another Kenyan man on her left. Yeah. And they were making stories, and they were like, oh, the other guy was, I think it was also his first time, and this lady had traveled like to different places and she was going to Phoenix in the US. And me, I didn't even want to talk to people. I was like, but then I had to bring myself to talk because I don't know anything about airports or like anything airports. It was new to me, so I had to ask her things, and she was so nice. And she had this Kalenjin accent, and she was like, yeah, sasa unaenda, you know how Kalenjins talk. And she helped me so much. She told me even her first time was also hectic, but she got used to it, and it's just gonna be okay, yeah. And it felt so nice, I just didn't feel lonely. I was also worried about my SIM card. I forgot to leave my SIM cards at home, and I knew when I reached the US they would not work. So I told her, how do you manage to keep your SIM cards active? And she was like, I activate roaming, and that enables me to keep my SIM cards active. And yeah, she told me how to do it. Oh no, she didn't tell me how to do it. She just told me she keeps, she how do I say this, she recharges airtime frequently, and that keeps the line active. Yeah. What did she told me about the food. The food at the airport is not so nice, but I should just try to eat. So yeah, that's it. That's how my flight from Kisumu to Nairobi was. So now we are on our way to Paris, and this was, I think it was a 10-hour or a 13-hour flight. I can't remember well, but it was such a long flight. Oh my gosh. But I think Air France is such a nice airline. They gave us blankets, they gave us headphones for you if you feel cold, if you want to listen to music. And then I fell asleep because I was tired. I woke up to chicken or beef. I was like, chicken. The food wasn't so bad, but it just wasn't nice. Yeah, there was chicken, and it wasn't even seasoned or anything. It's just like boiled or something. Boiled chicken. There was yogurt, juice, what else, bread, yeah, and other vegetarian options. I ate all my food because I was hungry, even though it was tasting like I ate all my food. And slept again, woke up to another chicken or beef. I ate again, and then I ate again. I think when we were almost close to Paris, it was breakfast. I think there was bread and tea or coffee or something. I can't remember, but we ate like 3 meals in that flight. 3 or 2, I can't remember well, but I slept almost halfway. And the other time I was just like wondering how everyone is, everyone is just so chill, and me, I'm just so worried. And I saw people like the tablets thing that are always like in their seat in front of you, where you can watch a movie, you can look at the map and see where you're going, or what position you are right now. So yeah, I opened that, and guess what, I wasn't even in the mood for a movie. I just opened to see where we are going. and I saw, now we are crossing Africa. Now we are on the Red Sea. I was like, wow. And then when we were on the, I think it was on the Red Sea or something, we were crossing a sea. It was, the airplane was shaking. And then there was an announcement. It was like, now we are on an area of turbulence, so put on your seatbelts. No one should stand. Just relax. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, and I felt relaxed because I was like shaking. Oh my gosh, maybe we're gonna crash. Now it's just turbulence. And after that, what happened? After that, I just slept most of the time. Most of the time I was checking where we are just to see our progress. And then I think many hours later, we reached Paris. And I was so tired. I just carried my, so you know, in the airplane you just have your carry-on bag, your pillow, and yeah. So I just carried my carry-on bag, and then I followed the crowd of people, just like my friend had told me, just follow the crowd. I followed the crowd, and then we went, another security check. We were checked. They asked for my passport and all that. And you know, in Paris, oh my gosh, everyone speaks French. What? I speak to you in English. I'm asking you, where can I get this port of entry? You respond in French. Now, how are we supposed to help each other? Like, I don't know. Maybe they should learn a bit of English, those people who are at the airport. Oh, I understand maybe it's their national language, but everyone speaks French. And me, the only French I know is bonjour. So, thank goodness there's like sign language. So I was like, he was like, he was speaking French, but he was pointing to where I'm supposed to go. So me, I was just following like what he was saying. So go like this, go like, and I think I understood him. So I just followed the his directions. Though I got lost again, and I asked another person who also explained in French, but I still got there. And this airport is called Charles de Gaulle or something. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it well. It is so huge. It has so many floors. I kept going from first floor to second to up. I couldn't understand the way they were giving me directions because they were speaking a totally different language, and I'm only just used to English. I only know English at this moment. So I kept getting lost, and then I just read my there in the airport there is this large screen which shows the gates and different flights. So I just read my flight that was going to Seattle. It showed that it was this certain gate. So I asked for that certain gate, and I went there, directed myself, went there, and sat. It was like a 3-hour layover to Seattle now. And I reached there, I sit down, I start eating my snacks because I was so hungry. And then there was another security check. Oh my gosh, these security checks pissed me off so much because they were never ending. Another security check. Where's your passport? Where's your form 1 Y20? Where is your whatever? I start removing my things again. And then we reached when it was time to board the plane, they were like, okay, now you have been selected for a random security check. And I was like, wow, why me? Okay, I didn't take it like that. I was just like, okay, there's nothing I'm carrying here anyway, you just check me. So they checked my bag, they checked everything, they didn't find anything. They let me go, and then I proceeded to go and board my next plane. And I thought this next flight was gonna be short. Hey, this one was another 10-hour flight or 9-hour. I was so tired. I was literally worn out and died. Like, I was worn out, and you have to move on regardless. So I went, looked for my seat number, and sat there. And I was sitting between two white people. I think they were nice. They were so nice to me. yeah, it was just awkward because it was my first time like interacting with this with people different from my race for the first time. And you know, in Africa we tend to fear the mzungu people, or we tend to like there's just some sort of fear, or like some tension when it comes to interacting with them. So I'm just like sitting there, and by that time my English is still shaky because I'm just used to speaking Swahili, and my English is just, it's like I've forgotten to speak English altogether because their English is so nice. The air hostesses was so nice. They were still speaking French, but they were really helpful. They guided me to my seat when I needed something. They helped me, and I watched a movie this time. I was not just looking at where we are going. At least I tapped on a movie on the tablet. It was such a funny movie. Oh my gosh. I think it was about the people were in this family. They were taking a DNA test to know where everyone is from. And then when the DNA tests come out, they realize, oh, they are from Portuguese. They are 1% Portuguese or 1% African. And they're like so shocked. And they're making fun of each other. It was such a funny movie. I slept also, but then I woke up to food, chicken or beef. I said chicken, and then they gave me food. And then I slept again, and then I woke up. We're in Seattle, and it was so rainy. My people, Seattle is so rainy. Seattle is ever cloudy and rainy. Sorry. So when I reached Seattle, I'm like, okay, the tablet on your screen, or on like the screen of the tablet can show the outside of the plane. So I'm like, hey, wow, I'm in the US. I've reached the US. I'm in Seattle. But it was so rainy. It was so rainy. So we reached Seattle, and then I go in. I had a 6-hour layover. 6 hours. 6 hours. And I don't know anyone. I am new. So my plan was just to sit in the airport and wait for my next flight, sleep if I have to, and just relax. But then this airport, it was Tacoma International Airport. Hey, it didn't even have seats. So okay, the first thing I do, I go in, check in so that I'm not late. I check in for my next flight, and then I leave to go and do my other things. But then when I'm checking in, they tell me you have to take, so I am with my checked in bag. They tell me you have to go to the airline that you came with, and they will check your bags all the way to Pasco. I was going to Pasco, so I had to go back and look for the Delta Airlines like office or like department or something to give them my bag. So I come back there and check in again. Oh my gosh. And I was so tired. I was literally just dragging myself because I was so tired. My eyes were literally wanting to roll out of my eyeballs. My body was worn out. I was just okay. I went, gave them my bag, and then came back to check in. I checked in, and then I had clothes in my carry-on bag. I needed to change and freshen up a little bit, so I went to the washrooms and I changed into a little bit cuter outfit, because the outfit I came with it from Kisumu to Nairobi. It was a bit not nice. You know, I choose comfort over everything. I choose comfort over everything. Comfort over looking good, because it's a 19-hour flight. I can't wear heels, I can't wear sneakers. I just wore my slides and a very baggy jeans and a top. Yeah, that's it. So when I reached Seattle, I knew Pasco, the next place, I'm going to be meeting with people from school, and I'm going to be meeting with people that I know. So I had to freshen up and look good. I did a bit of lip gloss and earrings, and I looked a bit presentable because when I was coming out of the Seattle flight, oh my gosh, I was looking like I'm gonna die the next minute. And this this airport, before I checked in, I could, like, there wasn't any place you could sit in. It was so packed, and I couldn't even stand. My legs were killing me. I just sat on the airport. I just sat on the floor. I looked for, like, there was this wall. There were not so many people over there. I just went and sat next to that wall, and I sat there to rest a bit because hey, my body was killing me. But at least when I checked in and I went there, when I went to the gate that I was supposed to take my flight from, I found chairs and I sat there, and then what? Oh, so here there was a shop, and they sold painkillers, water, snacks. So I remember, oh, I have my dollars. I go ahead and buy painkillers. I bought Tylenol because my body was so painful. I bought water. I bought I think I also bought a snack because I was so hungry. And then I proceeded to the gate, and then I checked in once more. And this last flight was actually an easy flight. I think it was like a 1 hour or a 3-hour flight. It was so short. I don't even remember how it went because I slept all of it. I was so tired. I slept from the moment I boarded the plane in Seattle. I just woke up when we were in Pasco, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So I reach Pasco. We get out, and there are so many people from Whitman welcoming us. They're like, hey, welcome to Whitman, welcome. And they told us they have a bus parked outside and we should go. And I was so happy. I took my suitcase, and by then I had met a friend. She was also going to Whitman, and we talked a bit. She told me she's from Lesotho, and it was fun. It was a fun conversation. And then I went to what was I saying? Oh my gosh, I've just lost my track of thoughts. Okay. So, we boarded the bus, and here they had snacks for us. They had so many things for us. So many foods. They had protein bars, a lot of sweets, chocolate, candy. And I was so tired. I didn't want to talk to anyone. So I just sat there and waited for when we are going to reach Walla Walla. Because they were like, now we want to know each other. Know each other what? Wait, give us time to rest. Like, we just reached here. And then they took us to school, to Walla Walla. And then when we reached Walla Walla, we had to check in and just say we have reached. And then, yeah, that was my flight from Kisumu to Pasco to Walla Walla. And it was such a hectic thing. And all this while I was offline because I had started traveling Friday, and I reached like Sunday morning Kenyan time. So it was such a long flight. It was so long. And I was so exhausted, and I was jet lagged for like a week or something. I had trouble sleeping because my body is used to sleeping during the day, you know, like the time difference. Kenya, when it's daytime, it's nighttime here. When it's nighttime there, it's daytime here. So my body is used to sleeping daytime here, and now I'm supposed to sleep, you get the difference. So I had trouble falling asleep. But then they had melatonin, which is good for promoting sleep and just making you feel relaxed. I had so I took some of that and I felt better the next day. We went to our rooms, we checked, they had everything, towels, soap, everything for us. And I really thank the international international students office for that, because they really gave us a nice hospitality. And I'm just gonna tell you how my phone Techno refused to work when I came here. It refused to connect to any internet when I came to the US, and I had to contact my parents to let them know I have arrived. But I can't, because my phone is it is not connecting to any Wi-Fi. It was such a hectic thing. But I talked with my friend, and I connected with my family through her phone, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. And it was a fun experience traveling and just experiencing life differently. Oh my gosh, just that is such a long flight. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've learned a thing or two about flights. So number one, okay, I'll do that in a different video. What to do to carry when you're traveling, what to know, what to not to do when you're traveling. But for sure, wear comfortable clothes. Even if it looks like, I don't know, no one is gonna care. No one everyone is minding their business. But for sure, wear your comfortable clothes. Do a travel pillow. Like, I'm gonna do another video to just tell you all those, but for now, that's it. That's my flight experience, and that's it. I'm just gonna say, just remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Yeah, it will be good for me, and it will support me to do more of this content. So make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you so much. Bye.